And we are back. Maintaining good health and being mindful of your dietary choices, sometimes it's a significant challenge. However, opting for healthier alternatives doesn't necessitate, or I should say, doesn't necessitate a complete overhaul of your diet. That's what a lot of people think. I gotta change my diet, I gotta do this. But listen, it doesn't always necessitate that. Our reporter, Brittany Aubain, she stepped down and she got the chance to speak with the senior medical director of EmblemHealth, Sandra Rivera Luciano, and she talks about this in her interview.
Dr. Luciano, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's just get right into it, right? Nutrition is essential for overall health. We hear it all the time. So, can you explain what constitutes a balanced diet and why it's important for maintaining good health?
Well, the important thing about nutrition is that it really goes across a whole span of your lifetime. And what's important is balance, and that you're able to drink liquids, more liquids, choose healthier options, stay with more vegetables, more greens, incorporate your cultural foods, but also be mindful that it's important to have a balance of greens, of protein, of complex carbohydrates, and drink a lot of liquids, especially water. So that in itself is a balanced diet, and that goes throughout a whole spectrum of your lifetime, depending on your needs and growth and physical activity.
I like that you mentioned the idea of keeping your cultural foods involved in your diet, right? Because I
Yeah,
love a good plate of arroz con gandules, just like a lot of my other
yeah,
Puerto Ricans do. But unfortunately, I wouldn't make that a daily meal, right? I don't think that's something that we would do every single night. So with that, making healthy food choices can be so challenging, especially when there's so many tempting options in the stores and everywhere that you go. So what are some small changes that individuals can make in their diet?
I think, first of all, I think you should start by trying to cook at home, to
Hmm.
embrace cooking at home, keeping it simple, trying to stay away from high fatty meats and frying food, utilizing the air fryer, broiling certain vegetables. You could have the rice and beans. We need that, right? It has nice carbohydrates and proteins, but you could also make it less in a less fatty manner. And there's so many options and recipes out there that are embracing our foods so that they could be healthy and also enjoyable.
100%. And now, for individuals with specific medical conditions or dietary issues, making healthy swaps in their diet can be just a little bit more challenging. So, what
Of
advice
course.
would you give to somebody in their situation who wants to make healthier choices?
I think depending on the chronic conditions that you have, for instance, let's take diabetes,
Hmm.
you want to be able to utilize more protein, stay away from the sugary type of snacks or cakes, anything that has a high sugar content. That doesn't mean that you don't need sugar or that you don't like sweet, type of choices, but you would maybe stick to like fresh fruits, try to stay with low fat yogurt that has a low sugar content. And it's just being mindful, I believe, and reading the labels and trying to stay away from the high sugary processed type of foods and snacks.
Absolutely. And speaking of snacks, can you discuss some of the food swaps that you mentioned, right? Replacing baked goods with dark chocolate or swapping chips for maybe nuts or popcorn. So tell me a little bit about these healthier alternatives without sacrificing taste.
Well, like always, it's a matter of getting used to promoting those swaps and being comfortable with it. So dark chocolate is a great
Mhm.
idea. You could use it for baking. Popcorn, there's all kinds of popcorn. It doesn't need to be buttery. It doesn't need to be slathered with butter and salt. So that's a great idea. A handful of nuts provides a lot of energy and keeps you satisfied longer. So you're not picking and snacking all day. So I
Mhm.
think those elements are very important. If you could just incorporate that in small changes at a time, I think you'll be successful.
And can you also explain why reducing cholesterol intake is important for heart health and how incorporating seafood can help achieve this?
Well, the great thing about seafood is that the amount of it has good fats,
Hmm.
right? And those are the fats that prevents our arteries from being clogged. So trying to develop a way of eating more, let's say, fish or staying away from red meat. That will help with lowering your cholesterol. You need fat in your diet. Not to say that fat is not important, but having more omegas, having less saturated fats, that is what helps in less accumulation of fat in your arteries, and obviously could help with the prevention of chronic diseases like heart disease, coronary artery disease, that's so prevalent in our, in our culture and in our communities.
100%. And going back to maybe the idea of the sweet tooth for a moment, right? Greek yogurt with fresh fruit is recommended as a healthier dessert option compared to things like ice cream. So can you elaborate on the nutritional benefits of Greek yogurt and how it can contribute to a balanced diet?
Yes, for sure. So not all yogurts are the same. We know that there's a lot of different yogurts that have a lot of high sugar content, a lot of coloring. So if you just stick to a plain yogurt, Greek yogurt, and add the fruits or nuts, you're getting at least 9 to 11 grams of protein, which is so helpful. And it really it helps with also keeping you satisfied as a snack and throughout the day. So I believe that having that combination of swapping, let's say, instead of a regular yogurt that you see in the store, and keeping something that's low sugar, more Greek plain yogurt, I think that's a great swap and it really helps. And if you like the sweet tooth, add some cinnamon, add some fruits, and it tastes the same and it tastes better also. And you're going to feel better. At the beginning, it may not feel that nice or you may not like it, but as you keep doing it, small changes make the difference. And I think that's really important, and also involving your family and your friends and having the same type of behaviors. I think that's important.
I feel like I'm on the right track. I love a good Greek yogurt with some granola and fruit in the morning. It's something light, but it's fulfilling. So I think this was a great thing to hear, a great boost. So let's talk about EmblemHealth, right? They offer resources to help New Yorkers make healthier food choices, including blog posts and videos on healthy food alternatives. So can you tell us more about these resources and how individuals can access them?
Well, there's a couple. So EmblemHealth in particular has neighborhood care locations throughout the whole 5 boroughs. We also have a site in the Bronx in Southern Boulevard, and anyone, you don't have to be a member, could walk into these centers and participate in our fitness classes, our nutrition classes, and even ask for help. You could also get on our website, emblemhealth.com, and get information. So I believe that this could be the beginning. Obviously, also talking to your primary care physician is also very important, because every person is different and everyone has different needs. But I think just walking into one of our locations would be a great start.
Dr. Rivera, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing these tips.
Thank you so much for having, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. For more
Thank you.
information, you can visit the website at emblemhealth.com and follow them on social media at EmblemHealth. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open right after this.